Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mrs. Lambert. I'm coming to you today from my kitchen, and I'm here to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about this project that I've told you about before we left school. I did tweak it a little bit. You don't have access to it just yet, but I will make sure that you have access. A couple of things. Please try to finish up reading and taking the quizzes for the Watsons Go to Birmingham. I'm going to be going ahead and giving the final test on this Friday, and I want to make sure that you all are ready for it. Also, be on the lookout for an invitation from me tomorrow on Wednesday. We are going to have a Google Meet session at 11:30 to answer any of your questions and to go over this project a little bit more in depth. As always, Ms. Sabnik and myself are available. You can email me, you can Google chat me. I am actively on the computer from 9 to 11 and again from 12 to 2. I try to get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. So let's go ahead and get started talking about this project. So I did tweak it because I don't think you guys can actually, do the whole project by yourself on your own. So what you're going to see right now on the screen is this Google Doc that I'm going to share with you. And you're going to go ahead and this is all of the directions. You do not have to write your name on it. Actually, you're not going to have access to edit this paper, but you can, of course, look at it. And if you need anything, you can ask me. So we've now read The Watsons Go to Birmingham, and it's all about a road trip and going down to Birmingham in the 1960s. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to create your own trip, like you are going down to the South. But the catch is this is going to be in the past. So you're not actually going to be using real restaurants and things that are occurring right this second. You're going to be using what is called the Green Book. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. So, the Green Book project is pretty simple. You're going to pick a destination out of one of these destinations. I don't care which one you pick. I don't care if you just randomly close your eyes and pick one. Whichever one you want to go to, that's totally fine. So, you have Atlanta, Georgia, Birmingham, Alabama, Charleston, South Carolina, Jackson, Mississippi, or Greensboro, North Carolina. So you're going to pick one of these destinations. So let's just say I picked Birmingham, for example. Okay. And you are going to, hold on, let me highlight that so we know that I picked it. Okay. I picked Birmingham. So you're going to use the following websites to create a trip from Youngstown to your destination. And you're going to have to make a couple of stops, obviously. So this first website right here, I'm just going to click it for you. Come on. Okay. Let's let it load. It takes forever. So this first website right here is the New York Public Library's website, and they have done a wonderful job. I've used this website before, and it's so much fun to use. So I want to talk briefly about what the Green Book is. So the Green Book was a actual book that was published in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s for African Americans, and this book gave tons of places, restaurants, hotels, barbershops, anything that they would be able to go to. And why do they need this book? Well, we've talked about discrimination and we've talked about racism and we've talked about how in the South everything was segregated. So these green books were used to help African Americans who are traveling to make sure they are staying at the right places and eating at the right places so they would not get in trouble with the white people. We know that Willona, Kenny's mom, uses this book, but when she's planning her own book and she has a notebook as to where they are going, well, she definitely used the Green Book because they need to stay at places that are African American friendly. I'm going to get a little bit more into that here in a second. So I'm going to scroll down right here. And so this just gives you a little bit information about the Green Book. You're definitely allowed to read that if you want to. I basically just gave it all to you in a quick session there. but you can read it if you want. So you're going to see over here on the right-hand side, it says make a trip or view the map. So the view the map portion, so if I'm to click that, what happens is it's going to bring up a map of the United States, if it ever loads. And this map is going to have on it a cluster view or a heat map. And that's going to tell you cluster view is like how many places in that particular part of the country were African American friendly. And the heat map is going to show you the places that African Americans lived and traveled. Okay. That's from 1947 and, of course, 1956. And you can see a huge difference between 1947 and 1956. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back here. You do not need to use this map for anything. It is just something cool to look at. If it ever wants to go back. I'm just going to go ahead and click this over here. Maybe this will help me out here. Sorry, that's my dog barking. So if you are to go back, I'm going to just go back to the website here because I want to make sure that I'm not confusing anybody. Okay, so if I go back to the website in which I started, all right, and right next to the view map, it has a make a trip website. So I'm going to go ahead and click that map a trip. And it's going to take me right to this website that I'm already on over here. And so, like it says up here, the Green Book was a travel guide published between 1936 and 1966 with hotels, restaurants, bars, gas stations, etc., where Black travelers would be welcome. So the New York Public Library is using this data for you to be able to visualize a trip. So first things first, what you want to do is do not choose 1947. We are not going in 1947. Pick 1956. The address you can use, again, you can just put in, I'm going to delete all of this. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put in Youngstown, can't spell, Ohio. All right. And I said that I was going to Birmingham. So I'm going to go to Birmingham. And I can't remember. It's in Alabama, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and click map a trip. And there it goes. It maps it for me. Okay. So it's going to have on this left-hand side here, my starting location. I said Youngstown. You could put your others. You could put your own address. You could put the school's address, whatever you want. And then it gives me two restaurants and a hotel that I am going to stay in. It's pretty neat. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to click on these things. So I'm going to click right here. All right. And it says Webster's Restaurant. It gives me the address. Okay. So this is where you're going to create your map. You're not going to be able to share this map with me, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead back to my map project. Okay. And I'm going to scroll down. Okay. And I'm going to read a little bit about what to do here. So you're going to actually create your own virtual map. And what you're going to do is you're going to click this website that I have for you called mapcustomizer.com. I'll open it for you here. And you're basically going to take what you have here, okay, on this page, and you are going to translate it onto this page. And I'll show you how to do that here once it loads. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I decided to start from Youngstown. Just for our purposes, I'm going to go ahead and put in the school's address. Okay, and I'm going to just say that that's home. That's my description for it. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and add a location. So I'm starting at home. I'm going to come back to my map. And here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just so you can see side to side. I'm gonna get rid of that real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my map. All right, so I said that I'm starting here, and that's what I said. So I have my home here. So then I'm gonna add a location. I'm gonna go right to Webster's Restaurant. Okay, so 113 West 8th Street, Paris, Kentucky. Okay, and I'm going to put here Webster's Restaurant. Ooh, can't type today, guys. Sorry. I really can't type today. Okay, I'm going to add that location. It says that it can't because I didn't put in the zip code. 40361. Let me see here. West EIGH 8th Street, Paris, Kentucky. 40316. All right, let me see what's going on here. Even if I can't put it in there, what I could do is just type in Paris, Kentucky and see what it adds. There we go. Okay, so if you can't put in the full address, that is totally fine. I'm going to go ahead though and make sure that I put on there, okay, Webster's Restaurant. All right, then I'm going to come back over here, okay, and then I'm going to go to my next one. So again, I'm going to go ahead and plot my next spot, okay, which is going to be, let's see if I can copy that. I can. Control C, my friends. It's your best friend. Okay. And we're going to say Thomas Chicken Shack Restaurant. Oh, again, it's not going to pick it up. That's okay. We're just going to go ahead and put Chattanooga, Tennessee. And bam, it's going to add it. Okay, so you're going to add what was on this map, okay, from the Green Book website to the virtual map. Okay, that's found right here on the Google Doc that I have that says create your virtual map. Okay, so you've pinpointed all of these places that you are going, right? And then you're going to go ahead and click the save button. And we're going to say the Green Book project map. Okay, so you see down here how it says that your map will be accessible at this place. Okay, so you're going to want to copy this website for me. All right, you're just going to copy, and in your own Google Doc that we're going to set up here in a minute, you're going to go ahead and paste that website. Okay, so that I can just click it. All right, so I'm going to click the save this map. All right, so then I can just click it and go and look at your map. If you're at all confused about what to do, okay, I'm gonna have another video up here, most likely tomorrow or Thursday, that is going to give you a step-by-step on how to find these things and all of that other fun stuff. Okay, but you're gonna want to make sure that you have this map customizer. It is on the Green Book Project doc. Follow the Green Book Project doc. It's going to really be your best friend. Okay, I'm going to go over the rest of the directions. So you are going to use the map. That's this first website right here. Okay. And this website, I'm going to go over here in a minute. Excuse me. And you're going to pick 3 restaurants and 2 hotels, motels, people's homes that you are going to stay in on your trip. Plot them along on your virtual map. On a Google Doc that I'm going to go ahead and set up here, you're going to write 2 sentences for each stop that you make, and you're going to explain to me why you chose that spot. So, example, I chose to stay at Aunt Sally's in Birmingham, Georgia, period. I chose this because it was the only place that I was allowed to stay. or I chose this because it's close to where I wanted to be. They all should not look the same. So you should not just say, I stopped at Webster's restaurant because it's the only restaurant that I could find. All right. What you should say is, I stopped at Webster's rest stop to eat. I chose this place because it was the closest. Um, sorry, it was the closest place to where I was staying. Okay, so get a little bit creative with that. Um, And then on that same Google Doc, you guys are going to go ahead and write slash type a three paragraphs, 5 to 8 sentences per paragraph, an essay about what you've learned about segregation from this book and from doing this project. Okay, it is a total of 60 points. You will have access to this, um, and you can look at it. But what I really want to focus on right now is, so we did this first website and we did the map customizer. So what happens if, say, you use, let me go back here. This is taking me too long. Okay. What happens if you only have like 2 places on this map, right? Because you need to have, as I stated down here, you need to have 2 hotels and 3 restaurants. Well, so you already, according to this map, you already have 2 restaurants. So you need to find a third one. And you only have 1 hotel. So you need to find a second hotel. So what exactly do you need to do? Because it's not going to come up on this map. So what you're going to do is, you're going to use that second website here, the digital collections website. Give me a second here. It's popping up. Okay. And I'm going to kind of make this a little bit bigger again so you can see. Okay. I'm just going to do this. All right. This is the Green Book from 1960. So it might be a little bit different, okay, than our 1956 map, but that's okay, right? So I'm looking at my map. Okay, I'm going back to my map customizer, and I have found that, there's this big, huge stretch between Youngstown and Lexington, Kentucky. Maybe I want to stay in a hotel somewhere there. So I'm going to look at where would be along my route. Like, if I was going to drive, what city is going to be along my route? So I'm not going to the east, right? So I can't go to Pittsburgh. But if you look here, there's Canton, right? There's Columbus, Chillicothe, Charleston is in West Virginia. Okay, so if I wanted to maybe, take the road down to West Virginia, and I still can go ahead and get over here, right? Maybe I wanted to stay in Charleston, West Virginia. Let's just say that's where I wanted to stay. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my book. This book goes by state. All right, so Charleston is in West Virginia. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead, and yes, I clicked down here to make it so that the pages are a grid in front of me. All right, you don't have to do that. You could literally just click this next button, and it'll pop up for you. But I wanted to um, do that because it makes it a little bit easier on me. It goes in alphabetical order. So starts with Arizona. So West Virginia, West Virginia is going to be all the way at the bottom. Okay, so this looks like we are at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to Knoxville, Tennessee. All right, keep looking. Got to keep going down. This can be a really difficult process. All right, so take your time on this. You do not need to rush this. Okay, so we're still in Tennessee, so I'm gonna just kind of, and if you see at the bottom here, there's this little hand here. You can obviously move it quicker, like this and this, if you need to. So I'm actually gonna just go all the way to page 133, and then I'm just gonna go backwards from there, because West Virginia, W's at the end of the alphabet, right? Okay, so this is Long Island. Let me see, New York State, Minnesota, Maryland, Massachusetts. Canada. So if you wanted to go to Canada, Alaska and Bermuda. All right, here we go. Wisconsin. Here we go, West Virginia. Okay. So I'm going to go to West Virginia. And I said that I wanted to stay in Charleston, right here, West Virginia, right? So what I'm going to do is I click this and Charleston's right here. So I can either stay at Ferguson's Hotel on Washington Street or I can stay at Penn's Hotel in West Charleston. So I'm going to just say, okay, I'm going to stay at Penn's Hotel. So I'm going to add, okay, my maps. Let's click this. Should be able to go ahead and customize it still. Yep, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to hit the edit button. All right, so do not hit save. I mean, when you do hit save, make sure when you come back to it that you can go to my maps, find it, and click edit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add Charleston, West Virginia. And what did I say? Ferguson's Hotel. Oops, sorry. All right, so I'm going to click that add location button. All right, so and over here you can interchange these. You see this little button right here that arrows going up and down? That means you can drag them. All right, so I want to drag this because I don't want to stay there after. Okay, I want to stay there before I get to Webster's. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do like that. And then it has a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So you see how it's plotting my route. Okay. Save. Okay. You can sign up. I think it's free. I'm just going to go ahead and click sign up. All right. You can use your school email. It does not have a Google connection, so you can't just click sign in with Google. All right. You can do that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Make sure that you just click the save. Oh, there's a login with Google button. Would you look at that, guys? Log in with Google. I hit cancel and it popped up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click my name here. And it should pop up here any minute. It's going to take a while probably. And then I will be signed in and I can just save my map. Okay, now I totally redid my entire thing. So I'm going to go back to my maps and click that button. Okay, remember I saved it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click that edit button and it should be able just to pop me right back in. Okay, so again, when you get onto mapcustomizer.com, you can click the sign up button. When you click the sign up button, it'll ask you for your email. If you were to click cancel, okay, it will pop up and have Facebook or Google. You can sign in with your Google account, and then you can always come back to this website. It might add a new map. Remember, up here at the top, My Maps. Click that. It'll take you to a web page where your saved maps are. So you have to save it before you leave the website, because if not, it's going to not save. All right, and that's where you can view it, you can edit it, you can delete it. The best advice that I would have for you is to have everything picked and ready to plot so that you can go ahead and just plot it on the map all at once and save it. Okay. I'm going to click this view button because I want to show you something. If you forget to excuse me. If you forget to save the URL when it pops up, if you look here, it says to share. You can click this share button and you can email it to me directly if you have a problem. Or you can seriously, I'm going to go back because I didn't mean to click that. Or you can just copy paste this into your Google Doc. Okay, so that's going to need to be done for sure. Okay, so that's it for the project. All right, please, please, please reread everything. Use this video as a guide. I will also be setting up a video here tomorrow or Thursday to show you um, how to find things in the green book. What you could do. You can even click this jump to. Okay, we'll talk about that, and I'll kind of go more in depth. But for right now, that's all I have for you. This will be available to you most likely tomorrow. I have to make a couple little tweaks before I send it to you. So if you saw it this morning, I deleted it completely. So there's no need for you to freak out or try to think where to find it. I will be re-uploading it, um, and you will have that access to it. Okay. Um, it is due before we go on spring break next week. But you're going to have the rest of this week. Friday is going to be the Watson's test. I was going to give it today, but there are just so many of you that needed extra time. So I'm just going to wait till Friday. The test will be up and ready for you on Friday. And then, so the rest of the week and next week, you're just going to focus on this project. If you have any questions, email me. Tomorrow, I am going to be holding a Google Meet. Please come to that at 11:30. I'm going to send you an invite. If you have questions about the project, that's when you're going to ask me. Again, you're going to pick one of the following places here. And I'm actually going to unhighlight this. Okay. Um, you're going to use the websites here. This is where you can get that map. Remember, 1956, not 1947. I'm actually going to highlight that because a lot of you don't remember when I say things. So I'm going to highlight that. Okay. When you hit that map, do some playing with it. Okay. If you have questions, again, that's what I am here for. Um, and reread the directions. If your parents have questions, email me. Whatever it is that you need, that's what I am here for. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And if you have any questions about this, reach out, please. Thanks.